Hey, welcome to Higher Road to You. This is Mark Stofer, and I wanted to share with you something that we all have to contend with at one point in time or another. We're always at these crossroads, and you got to be true to yourself. You got to be accountable to yourself, and setting boundaries are absolutely required, because if you don't set boundaries, you're just a doormat. And I've worked in the corporate environment, and there's just so much corruption. There's so much that I have seen firsthand working in the corporations, and then working from the outside looking in, and being involved with inside information, if you want to call it that, and go, oh, that's not going to end well. And it's a house of cards. It's smoke and mirrors. I was very much involved in the .com industry. There's a lot of numbers being thrown around, and it's just bullshit. I was watching a show recently about Oracle, and the founder, getting started, just lied through his teeth, and got away with it. Obviously, he got, huge contracts and did quite well. But ultimately, they're doing a documentary on, they didn't have all the contracts he stated they had, and he was a sales guy, and he was full of shit. And I don't know where to go with that exactly, other than, my experience with so many companies that I worked with. When the .com bubble crashed, they emptied the buildings quick. And all those numbers they were throwing around it was just smoke and mirrors. It was all about the stock price shooting through the roof. So when I went into business for myself, I just thought, I don't want to do business that way. I want to have a foundation that's sustainable, and I would welcome a tax audit, because I knew that I was playing the game by the rules. And now I have to contend with partners and things like that. And I'll tell you what I think about is Warren Buffett, coming in and saving a CEO because he was informed about financial corruption within his company, and chose just to look the other way and ignore it, and came full circle. And that little tiny elephant that they tried to sweep under the rug came back and just removed him completely, and the entire company was was going to go under. And obviously they had to remove him, and all those years and years of his commitment and loyalty and integrity, everything that he stood for, that CEO, was wiped out in an instant. And I think about how that plays out in my family's life, where it's so subtle and everybody just ignores it. They ignore the elephants in the room, they ignore the crack in the boat, and they just keep going out to deeper sea until the right storm comes around, and then that boat's going under, man. It's going to get capsized. The water's going to be coming in faster than they can get it out, and everybody's on that boat is going to be affected. And it is not pretty. It is absolutely not pretty. And so I always just felt like, at what cost? You ask the question, like, to what gain is it worth it? But more importantly, to what loss is it worth that risk? And I think that deep down we know. And I think somebody's got to be the one to basically say, no, that's not the direction we're going. No, we're going to get into safe harbor. We're going to fix the crack in the boat before we venture out into deeper seas and take on, the storms of life. So with that, that it's not always easy, especially when it involves family, that you love and you care about, or friends that are just really core to your your happiness as far as venturing out. So it's not like it's the whole pie, but it's that little sliver that affects the rest of the pie. It's like that little drop of arsenic in a bucket of water. It's like, okay, well, who wants to drink out of that, right? And I won't hurt you. It's 100 parts per billion. What are you worried about? Well, you drink enough of it, and you have a lot to worry about. So that's the way life plays out. And I'm just hoping this speaks to hearts and minds of people, gives you courage, gives you inspiration to take action where action is due. And with that, I hope this message finds you well.